Okay, I don't know how many of you that are going to watch this video, I don't know how many of you take medications or you're on medications or you think about getting on medications or you were on medications and you got off of medications. Well, anyway, I'm going to be speaking about why I take the medication I take and getting off of certain things. You know, there's a lot of things that people don't understand with this. I made the personal decision to get on the medication that I am on for myself. You know, it's a personal thing. And I know if I get off of the medication I'm on, there's going to be a long time for my brain to get back to how it would be if I was, completely off of something for a long time. You know, it takes a very long time for your brain to start getting the natural chemicals and the endorphins back. You know, some people it takes weeks, some people it takes months, some people it takes years for this stuff to come back, because I was on benzodiazepines for about 6 years. I was getting them off of the street. I was buying them all the time. And when I got off of those in 2016, let me tell you something. It was complete hell getting off of those things. I never want to experience anything like that again. And, I had someone tell me, why don't you get off of your medication? Get off of your meds and get completely, normal again. But it's a lot harder said than done to do that, because I take the medication that I take for my personal reasons and for my physical and my psychological stuff. I take it for those personal reasons, and I'm not going to get into everything because it doesn't matter. That's my personal reason why I take it. But, I don't think a lot of people that don't take medication or haven't took medication before or was once a drug addict and got off of everything, I don't think that people really understand what it is when you get off of things or when you get back on things, the reason why you do it. There was a really, really big reason why I got back on the medication that I take, and I really, really think that some people need to be on medication. That is my opinion. But I really think that some people need to be on medications. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them people, I admit it to you, It doesn't mean that I'm some psycho or I'm out of my mind or I'm nuts, We're all a little bit crazy, I mean, can we agree on that? We're all a little bit crazy sometimes. I mean, the world is a crazy place, But I have a really good idea of what will happen if I get off of them. And see, I want to explain for people that might not understand getting off of medications and prescription medications and psychological medications and all that. When you get off of this stuff, you're going to be messed up for a long time. Long time. And see, like these places that we go to for help, like NA, AA, and these programs, I'm completely against these programs now. I thought that I could maybe find help in those, but I realized they are only, and this is my opinion, this is my view, but they are only set up to get you involved with society's way of doing things. And it gets you involved with this religion aspect, with God and religion and other things. And then you're reading out of this book that tells you to conform to the way of this book and conform to how we do this, how NA and AA does this. And I'm not for any of that. I'm not for conforming to anything. You know, I'm for being a human being and doing what I have to do for me and being what I am. You know, the conforming stuff is completely done with me. If anyone tells me to conform to something, it's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen with me. Those days are completely over. And I will intermingle things in my message because it all goes together. The reason I got on medication again, and I'm only on one medication. I quit smoking. I quit drinking. I quit taking benzodiazepines. I quit doing heroin. I quit doing everything except for this one med that I take because I have to take it for my personal reasons. And I know when I get off of it that there will be people that will say, oh, well, come on, cheer up. You know, you got to get out of your mess and you have to do something. And, you know, you can't stay like you are. But here's what people do not understand. When you are getting off of this stuff, your brain is all over the place. You can't think straight. You're in a shitty mood all the time, you know, because your endorphins are completely gone and your brain has to rejuvenate itself. And it takes so long for the human brain. I know because I did this back in 2009, June 2009 to about October 2010 or November 2010. I was sober for a year and a half and I was just starting to get better. You know, I was almost there. I was almost out of it. And then, you know, like a dumbass, I made the decision to start getting high and doing drugs again. But here's the thing, though. I wasn't out of the woods yet from doing the things from a year and a half ago, as crazy as that sounds. And one day I got frustrated and I said, you know what? This is bullshit. You know, I'm not getting better. Like, I'm not staying better. Like, I'd have these days where I felt a little okay and, you know, everything was going a little well. And then I'd have these days upon days where I just felt like it was pointless for me to be completely sober because I was having mental problems go on and physical stuff going on. And I just couldn't deal with it. You know, I was going to these meetings and these other things, and I think that was making it worse for me. You know, and some people that helps, and they think in their mind that that's helping them. And hey, if it's helping them and they're living their life and they're doing what they're doing, then good for them. You know, but that's not me, you know, and it's about each one of us individually. And that's why I tell anyone who doesn't understand, you know, you can't judge someone who is on a medication or who takes medication because a lot of them have their personal reasons why they take it, and I have mine. But don't look at me any different as a person because I take something personally that I put under my tongue every day. It's a little strip thing, you know, it's a little thin strip thing. And all it does for me is it's like a cup of coffee to the normal person. That's all it's like. It's just like when you wake up and you're miserable and you don't want to get out of bed. I put it under my tongue and it's all it does is it gives me that little push, that little bit of push to get going. I don't get high off it. Do I look high to you? Do I look messed up? Do I look like I'm on drugs? Do I look like I'm out stealing and doing all this crazy stuff to get high? I wouldn't be doing these videos if I was messed up like I was. You know, I was really messed up. And there's really no reason for me doing this video other than to spread awareness about people that do take prescribed medications or people who are on psychological, psychotropic drugs. Like my nephew, he's on psychotropic stuff and he tried to get off of it one time and he went 2 or 3 days And I know what he's talking about. He said that he started just feeling really bad. Like he started having these crazy thoughts and his body was shaking and a whole bunch of stuff. You know, his nose was bleeding, all kinds of crazy shit. So when you get off of these things, it's like you have to take the time, and it takes a long time in order for your brain to even start to get right again. And this is why I don't like, and I will never go back to any of these rehabs or these NA or AA programs, because when you go there, they expect you to just be better. And like, oh, well, now you got to work this program and do what we say, and you got to get out in the world and do something. You know, that is not the way to go about it with somebody that is getting off of drugs or off of a prescription medication. They need the time to get their brain right first, and to get their endorphins back, and to get this running again properly, you know. And I know if I ever got off of the medication that I take, yes, there is going to be a withdrawal. You know, I will withdraw from it physically, psychologically, mentally, everything. And it won't be as bad as what it was in 2016 when I got off of the liquor, the fifth a day, the benzos all the time. I was taking them at least 6 days a week. You know, I might go a day where I didn't have money to take them, and any money I got, I was taking those. And about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I stopped getting panic attacks every day. I was getting panic attacks every single day. Sometimes they would last for days on end. It wouldn't go away. Do not, I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this video and you got this far, do not let a doctor prescribe you benzodiazepines, Xanax, Klonopine, Valium. There's another one, I forget what it's called, Librium, I think. Do not let these doctors prescribe you these meds. And if you are on these, or whatever you do, I'm telling you, if you do not want to experience hell on earth, do not get on them in the first place. Now, if you're someone that can take one every week, or every couple days, or every 2 weeks or something when you're having a really bad panic attack, okay, you can do that. I don't have a problem with that. But once you start taking them every day or a couple times a week, you are doomed. You're going to have to rely on them. And when you get off of them, you are going to have severe withdrawal. I'm talking about withdrawal that can kill you. That's how bad it gets. And just look into it. You know, you read about these things. See, here's the thing. You read about these things, and then they tell you in a couple weeks or a month or something, you'll have post-acute withdrawal symptoms. Let me tell you, these things go on for years, months and years. It's not like you get off of them and you're good in a week or so. No, it does not work like that. And if somebody ever did say that, it's because they only took them for a little while. When you take them for years, it takes years to get better from them. That's how the brain and this chemical shit works. If you're on something for years, more than likely it's going to take months or years to feel better from getting off of it. And then if you're on it for a couple weeks or a couple months, then it might take a couple weeks. You know, it kind of balances itself out in a way. Now, I'm not saying if you're on something for 10 years, it's going to take 10 years to get better. I'm not saying that. If it takes that long, then there's something just physically wrong with you, or there's something wrong with your brain, period. But the reason that I am probably most likely not going to get off what I'm on is because I'm not in an environment where I can do that. I don't have the necessities or a place where I can do that, where I have someone who understands that, listen, if I am off this, you have to understand, I am going to be in some shitty moods. I am not going to want to do anything. I am going to be depressed. I am going to be feeling like shit. My brain is not going to be right. I might snap at the littlest, stupidest shit. Not that I'm going to do nothing crazy, but it's like, I'll be like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, my brain needs to heal. And this is what, like, family members and rehabs and these programs don't understand, is that they just expect you to jump right back into all these things that society's doing. And that is where they make the mistake. Why do you think there's so many relapses? Why do you think that so many people go back to these drugs? Because their brains are still fucked up. And they're telling them, you got to get a job. You got to go to this place and do this thing. And you have to attend these meetings and keep trying to get better. And that is the worst thing to do for someone like me. And I know so many people, they won't agree with this. They'll say, oh, well, you have to get off your ass and do something. And you can't sit and wallow in your shit and this and that. I understand that. And I keep telling people that this whole thing is a contradiction. If you don't see everything as a contradiction, then you're not seeing life for how life really is yet. If you don't see everything as a contradiction. Because everything contradicts itself. So that's just a little bit about that. I didn't want to make this video that long. And I have no idea what I'm going to name this video at all. I'm going to upload it, but I have no idea what I'm going to name it. But that's just a little bit of how it is with this. And I didn't even explain everything. That's just the tip of the iceberg, But it's, when you're on these and you're on it for a personal reason and you need to be on it, then stay on it. I'm more than likely going to stay on it and probably be on it for a long time. I don't know if I will ever make the decision to get off it because I don't have a reason to do that right now. You know what I mean? It's like either or. It really doesn't matter, because either or, if I stop taking it and I'm completely, quote, sober, then I'm still going to have some of the problems that I have. And then if I'm on it, I'm still going to have some of the problems that I have. And I'm going to have some of the good times that I have. And then over here, I'm going to have some of the problems and the good times. It really doesn't matter. It's just the fact that I am on something for my personal reason. And I know what the consequences are if you get off of these things. I know more than most people what it is, because I withdrew cold turkey 3 times before off of these things. So I know more than a lot of people do. So anyway, with that, I'm done with this one. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Like the video if you got something from it. That'll help this get out and spread awareness. That's all I'm trying to do, is spread awareness with my message and my channel. And then do my arts things on the side, So with that, somebody but nobody, SBN Lifestyle. Stay up, even if it's by a thread. That's it. Later, y'all.